just yet.
Hey folks, we are live again on the Sixus1 Media YouTube channel. I am Les Garner of Sixus1 Media with my buddy Brent, Mr. Brent Bowers, aka Gray Bro. Blah, I can't even speak tonight. Must be all that poop I just finished cleaning up from my dog. Let's see.
You should have streamed that for the Sixus1 comedy hour.
Yeah, really. I need to make sure that I'm sharing my screen here so Brent can see what's up.
There we go.
Cool. You got my screen, buddy? All right. So
Yes,
we are here to close out the little. I called it an underground contest because what it was, we put together this little contest we called the Creative Creech Contest. That was a contest of sorts, ran across a couple of different sites, like posted about it in a couple of different places, and it was decentralized. So like basically the way the whole thing worked was you have let's close that. Hold on, let's go back here this way. There we go. So the way that it works is you could respond to any of these threads that make mention of the Creative Creech Contest, and we've been monitoring the threads, and out of those threads we would pick a winner who would then receive $100 worth of Sixus1 content, and the winner will be able to choose that content from any store, any combination of stores where Sixus1 stuff can be found, and basically all you got to do is go shopping through these stores. Just go popping through them, pick out the stuff you want, kind of pay attention to the price tags on them, make a list, and send it to me, and then I will hook you up. So that's kind of the whole thing. But I called it an underground contest because it's kind of a weird way to give a prize out, and it's decentralized from any of the stores and all that. And I like that because as somebody who makes content and sells it in numerous places, I like being able to kind of reach out to you guys and do some stuff that is sort of out of bounds from a lot of the rules of the different stores. So, running things in a decentralized way like that, I just dig that. It's kind of kind of appeals to the Wild West attitude I have,
Hey, Les.
Yep.
Hey, you're getting a lot of pop like on your mic. I don't know if you can.
Oh crap!
Back up a little bit. You're really being a
Yeah, I've got a little headset mic going. I got my Brittany mic here, but I got a little headset mic going. It was probably a little too close to my mouth there for a second. So hopefully that made it better. I just moved it away.
Yeah, much better.
Cool. So anyway, oh man, and my nose is stuffing up. This is horrible. It's a horrible time for this. So the primary place that we saw people posting in response to this was in the big Creech Evolution characters and kit thread on Daz3D.com. And in that thread, of course, that thread is like 10 pages long. It's a pretty healthy little thread. And we saw a lot of cool stuff, and I'm just popping in there right now to scroll through it. And Brent and I kind of deliberated back and forth. We were thinking about getting a third person involved in the judging, but kind of decided to just keep it between the two of us. So before we get into announcing the winner, though, there was like a few different images that I really liked. This was kind of interesting. This one is one from Brent, one that Brent put together. And I'm pretty sure he's using some shaders or something that he got from somebody else in the thread.
Yeah, if you scroll back up, it was actually Fishtails that came up with that particular recipe.
Yeah.
Page.
So it's pretty cool when you've got a thread about some stuff, and then people do all kinds of weird, cool stuff with it. Like this, this was a neat mod somebody did building on it. Who was this? This was James Jab, it looks like. And just really neat how that came out. And I think somewhere down this thread is that there's where this Fishtails gentleman put together this kind of nifty pink, salmony, organic looking shader that was really neat. So, but yeah, that's kind of a fun thing that came about out of this, was being able to look at this thread and see all these different ways people have used, the kits that we put out.
By the way, Fishtails shared that character preset if you guys want to grab it and play with.
Oh,
If
cool!
you like
Yeah,
that look, it's actually
we'll have to
great.
pop a link to that out there somewhere. So, yeah, right now I'm just kind of scrolling through so folks can kind of get a quick look at some of the stuff that made its way into the thread. It's pretty nifty looking artwork, and really kind of dig that. I thought that was really cute. Kind of a fun little riff on things with the little frog on his head and looking up at it. Was a nice one. Another nice one. I like the mood in that. And then this one, yeah, there we go. Let's just bring that up like that. So that was a late entry today. So anyway, I've kind of went through, or Brent and I went through and picked out sort of the ones that struck us the most. And let's see. Let's start with this one. Who was this one from? I'm going to go back to the thread and look back through it. So I think that was on up here. I want to find out who did this, because some of these I want to make sure that we give mention. Okay, that was Fishtails again. This is a number of him, and anybody could enter as many times as they want. That was kind of part of it. So I really like this image that he put up, just because there's this sense of clarity to it, and this, I don't know, there's just something about the way that it renders it. It really feels like there's a lot of detail and stuff in it. And there's so much movement with all the splashes and stuff going on, and I dig that. So, and I feel like it really represented the nature of what we set out to do with the character really, really well. So, Mr. Fishtails, great job on that render, dude. That was awesome. So, then this one. So that was kind of my first. Was one of the choices that we were looking at. Then let's look at this one right here. I really liked this. And I was actually torn, because this person, James Jab, actually posted a few different renders of this setup, and I liked all of them. They showed, part of the point of the contest was what you could do creatively with Creech. And he showed a kind of creativity here that is really striking to me. Just piecing what we have together with some other stuff. That choice of hair, and then this last one here, kind of building out of where he started, and you can see it grow. The way that stuff came together with that really creepy sort of face. Was there another one with that? Yeah, and here's another image that he did using it. So there's all these different images that James Jab put together using this setup of Creech that he came up with. But and when I saw all those, I was like, okay, one of these has to be at least in the running, and I think we kind of settled on this one. So this was, for me, I felt like this one really showed the creativity of what he was doing, and it just felt like a really complete character, and it took Creech someplace other than what I expected to be done with it. So I thought that was pretty nifty. Then the top two, and this is where it starts splitting hairs for me. This is, I love this render. I really love this render. It's so solid. The pose looks great. The lighting is top notch. There is nothing I can dislike in this render. This is just solid stuff. So let's go see who that was from. Scrolling. Still scrolling. Might have been on another page of it. I think it was. There it is. This was from Scorpio. And man, I really like that one. Then comes the out of left field stuff that is really creative and out there, and I really had no expectation remotely of seeing stuff like this offered up. But when somebody does some renders that I look at it and I actually have to kind of sit and think, how did they get that? How did they make it look like that? That's a good thing. That's cool. And so Tasos Anastasiades is that's how I'm going to pronounce that. I believe he's Greek. So Tasos Anastasiades submitted a few different pieces in this style, and it's so unique. And as a traditional illustrator, it just grabbed me by the eyeballs because I draw on paint and do all that kind of stuff. And what he did with these is just really gorgeous. And so this became my pick of all his entries. And so that brings us to really kind of 4 that I think were in the running for the choice to win this. And so here, and this guy. And I think we agreed that the official winner is going to be Tasos. Yay, Tasos! So, and it was a close one. It was a close one. Scorpio, if you watch this, it was a very close call on my end, because what you have here is actually a stellar, beautiful, gorgeous render. The one thing that made me kind of go to this one as the winner, though, was beyond, like, I actually tried not to take the illustrative quality into account, even though that's something that really appeals to me a lot. Like, and you know, and it almost feels a little unfair in a way to compare this to some of the other renders, because the others are very rendered and this is very illustrative. And I'm still actually want to talk to Tasos and be like, dude, what did you do on this? Like, I would love to get him to come on with us some night and talk a little bit about how he got this particular look, because this is a look that I'm in love with it. I'm absolutely in love with this. Like, I would print this on a canvas. I would print this on illustration boards and sell it at comic book conventions. It's gorgeous. So Scorpio, you were painfully close to winning this. But the thing here, as soon as I take away just the illustrative, the illustrative qualities of this, the reason I had to go with this one was there's a sense of composition, a sense of storytelling involved that appeals to me a lot. And then just the pose of the characters, it creates a mood with the male and female Creech. First off, it uses both of them, which I really liked. But then it also does it in a way that takes them beyond just being these aquatic creatures, monsters. And actually, I can see a love story right there. I can see a story between the two characters in that image. And that is super, super cool. Let's go full screen with that, and let that hang, on the screen for a little bit. So, Tasos, you are the winner. And if you're not watching this right now, which I expect you're probably not, I will be reaching out to you via Facebook, and we can talk there and get you set up with your $100 in Sixus1 content grand prize that you just won. So hope you dig it, and thank you very much for doing this really amazing looking artwork with the Creech sets. So I know I have kind of talked a mile a minute here. Brent, you got anything to say about any of these? Any other stuff you wanted to point out, or?
Well, I just thought so many were really, really excellent, and it's been really enjoyable to see the creativity.
I would agree. I must concur. It's been very cool to see that. So, um,
Pretty
and
much all of the Scorpio images in the thread have really really blown me away, and some of the others as well. Yeah, there's just some really good stuff up there.
it was also really neat, I think, to see the different scenes and environments people would take this character concept and put it in. Because there's the obvious one that is, kind of the swamp, Black Lagoon sort of classic environment that everybody expects. But I was really impressed to see how many times people, even though it wasn't something that was a non-traditional environment that won, I was still really impressed to see where people would go. There were some things that were the characters in different kinds of ruins. There was science fiction looking stuff out in outer space. It was all over the map, and that is very cool to me. It really showed that people got into the spirit of the contest and what we were trying to do, and really let loose with that and push themselves to do creative things with Creech. So that was a very cool thing, and anybody who replied to that thread, or there were replies in other threads, but the best of the stuff did come through the Daz thread. That really became the dominant place for us to find the entries. So, but for anyone who shared an entry, shared a render anywhere, thank you for supporting us, for picking up Creech, both male and female, or either if you only got one of them, and for playing along, because it was very cool. It was very neat to see what everybody would do. All right, so I think that's going to bring this little stream to a close. This was just a way to pop on for Brent and I to pop on and share these cool pieces of artwork with all you guys. Talk a little bit about Creech, talk a little bit about the contest, and share its winner with you guys. So one last time before we sign off here, this is what you're seeing on screen is the winning submission from Tasos. And Tasos will be receiving $100 in Sixus1 3D content as his grand prize.
Also, runners-up will be reaching out to you about your high-res versions for potential placement as promos with Daz 3D.
Yes. The 4 images that we discussed as kind of the finalists. All of those we want to see if we can get from you guys the high res images so that we can. Now, granted, we're going to submit those to Daz for inclusion in the product pages. It is the final decision on all those is up to Daz, but we do want to let you guys know that we are at least going to submit them. So if we can get the high res versions, hopefully there are high enough resolution versions of those. That we can have that to make any cropping edits, because Daz has some size things that they like to make sure we have in place. But anyway, we want to be able to get that stuff from you guys, so and we'll be reaching out to you guys for that. So that's going to bring us to a close. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks Tasos and everybody else for such great artwork. Again, Tasos is our winner of the Creative Creech Contest.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support for the whole ride to getting this released. Appreciate it.
All right. We will catch you folks later. Till next time, keep making cool stuff.